alone. Most of them have been chased away from their primary land. Some of them have lost their parents, but they are doing slave trade, Islamic slave trade in Nigeria. They are selling children. They're selling them off as slaves to go and marry, taking them out of Nigeria. Northern Nigeria, no track, no record, and all of that. It is like or more. Yeah, slave trade. Children between the ages of 2 years old, they are selling them off as slaves. To kidnap them, take them, and some of these kidnappings that you are hearing every now and then. Majority of the people who have never found their own children or found their relative anymore, because they've been sold. Yeah, it's a thriving market in that Sahel. And that is why if anybody is offering you to let us go to Europe by road, if you are watching me from Nigeria, I don't want you to think whatever you are facing in Nigeria is so bad that somebody is asking you to go to Europe by road. There are people that have been captured in Libya. They are there in the cage like animals to be sold as slaves, and there are buyers. Twice a week, they have two or three different spots in Libya where children kidnapped from across this West Africa, especially northern Nigeria, are shipped to, never to be seen again. True story. So you see, the criminals in Nigeria who are doing it under the cloak of religion. The moment you want to say, be careful, you better be careful, you better don't provoke us. And then immediately you will see our brothers and sisters who call themselves moderate Muslims. They, no, it has nothing to do with Islam. It's just their own barbaric culture. It has nothing to, instead of them to quickly say, well, this is one of the reasons why we need to keep teaching people that this is an old barbaric thing. Condemn it instead of you trying to warn us on what to say or not to say. Like, watch your mouth. That's not about Islam. Watch your mouth. People do say that to me, but not anymore anyway. Especially on YouTube. It's very important, right? Now let's take a leave from what and how they are treating children to how they are treating adults. I don't know if you know that the most touted minimum wage of Tinubu is actually 48,000 naira. That is adding 18,000 to the 30,000. And to everybody who knows that if you were earning 30,000 in Nigeria, you're actually not earning 30,000, right? Because most of it end up being deducted from you. But now 48,000. Well, NLC says they've rejected that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but their chairman and the other guy have something to say. 2 days ago, what do you call those ones again? ASU. They have now given 2 weeks warning. There is a particular video I kept for that purpose. There shall be no ASU strike. You remember that campaign of Tinubu? You will see more. Here is the reaction of the NLC to Tinubu's 48,000 naira minimum wage, which they won't even pay you, but they are demanding for more. Listen.
The 500 naira a meal per person we presented. We expected them to say you can go to Mama Put and get it for 200 or 300 because that's negotiation. You don't just from your head and say we pay you 20 naira. So that we look for the Mama Put joint in Nigeria where you can get even without meat a meal at 200 or 300, that would have initiated negotiation. But when people are not ready to initiate negotiations, they say, take this. So what do you now want? Okay, you want us to now say there will be no medical allowance, or there will be no housing, or there will be no transport. So they have not even provided a basis. You just say 48, and will say, what is this 48 for? And they are not ready to talk. So you can see that there is no seriousness, or they have not done their homework. Rather, Governor Soludo is busy harassing some of the governors that say they will start even paying 70. When 70 is not our demand, why should they say it?
And even urge them to take a decision.
So right now, the governors forum, they are meeting, probably to further impoverish Nigerian workers. But they have not said that their revenue, since the removal of subsidy, has almost tripled. They will not come to say that, but it's just to reduce the wage we are in. So that's the situation we have found ourselves in.
Back to our question.
You ask, is it for housing? Is it for feeding? Is it basic? There is no salary negotiation process that doesn't have these ingredients. Even if you look at your pay slip, you see the one that is transport allowance. Then can you break it down? There was lack of seriousness. In the first instance, at the commencement of this talk, the Minister of Finance had come and left. The Minister of Budget had come and left. The Minister of Labour was not there. The head of service came and left. The governors that were supposed, apart from Soludo that joined on Zoom, and the state and Niger State Deputy Governor came. Soludo joined on Zoom, but was busy defending his state that they are not paying the old minimum wage, because the report by the finance minister showed that Anambra is among the states that are not paying the old minimum wage. So he was busy all the way, defending his state. So, and was presenting himself as governor of Anambra State instead of representing the governor's forum. So that was what we saw today. There was not anybody to do. Just like to explain. Organized private sector explained that.
It looks so tired. Or should I say it looks so stressed? Oh dear. Well, there are so many lamentations like that. And I think the more he talks like that, the more he gives himself up as like, instead of being somebody who wants to lead the people who are the victims of Tinubu's policies. In the olden days now, it's like we used to look forward to the Labour president, NLC president. They always get something out of their agitation. Then APC happened. Then Nigeria became president of NLC and ended up being the first and the only NLC president beaten to stupor. And every now and then, every time I see him speak, I don't know if it is just me, the president of over 15 million workers in Nigeria, if no more, the president of the over 15 million workers who are suffering from Tinubu's policies, every time he speaks, all I see is like somebody asking for help. I don't know. What about you? Like, you can't tell me you are seeing any sort of shining light in those eyes that can, sparkling light that can make you feel like, oh, yeah, okay, he's talking. Every time I heard him, it's more or less like he's crying for help. Please, people, help me. If you know what these people did, see what they have done. No, let me explain to you. It's like crying for help. Anyway, watch this part too.
As clearly stated by the organized private sector, highlighting the stark disparity between the proposed minimum wage and prevailing standards, further demonstrating the unwillingness of the employers and government to faithfully negotiate a fair national minimum wage for workers in Nigeria. Furthermore, the government's failure to provide any substantiated data to support their offer exacerbates the situation. This lack of transparency and good faith undermines the credibility of the negotiation process and erodes trust between the parties involved. As representatives of Nigerian workers, we cannot in good conscience accept a wage proposal that will result in a reduction in income of federal level workers who are already receiving 30,000 naira as mandated by law, augmented by President Buhari's 40% peculiar allowance of 12,000 and the 35,000 naira wage award, totaling 77,000 naira only. Such a regressive step would undermine the economic well-being of workers and their families, and is unacceptable in a national minimum wage fixing process. Let me allow my colleague from the TUC to take up the governing policy.
Thank you. In the light of this development, and in order to prevent negotiation of a wage deduction, the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have taken a decision to walk out of the negotiation process. We remain committed and advocating for the right of workers and continue to engage in reasonable dialogue with the government if they have shown serious commitment to find a fair and sustainable resolution in this impasse. We call upon the government to reconsider its position and come to negotiation table with clear hands that reflects the true value of the contributions made by Nigerian workers to the nation's development and the objective of socioeconomic realities that confront not just Nigerian workers but Nigerians as a whole.
Nuisance Lele.
Put it that way. Martinelli, you got it. So it is like these guys were just showing to Nigerians, save yourself. Oh. We cannot save anybody anymore at this point. I remember the last time I saw Ajero's interview, and it was like he was crying for help. He said, every time they try to say they want to go on strike, the government threatened to beat them. They sent thugs after him and his people. And that is not good. Tinubu was supposed to allow the workers to express themselves. Baba, NLC chair, NLC president, is scared of Tinubu's thugs. Eh?
Tell me, what's my own? Tell me, I'll ask you now, what's my own now? Right where I'm asking you, what's your own? We are jungle, we are hustle, we suffer. You want to make me talk? Tell me, what's my own? Tell me, I'll ask you now, what's my own now? Right where I'm asking you, what's your own? We are jungle, we are hustle, we suffer. You want to make me talk?
What's our own, kind of? Because at this point, now so the NLC go to react if you call them to come and NLC do something. NLC do something. NLC president go hold you. I say, what's my own? Because that's what I see. I can't help you. The situation is beyond me. Save yourselves. Save yourselves. If you see those who knows how to read body language, facial expression, and all of that stuff, I bet you, they will tell me that I am more than 60% accurate. that those guys, every time you see them on your screen, they are not different from the rest of you. They are not president of anything. Nigeria is already captured. That's sad, isn't it? Very sad. But here is something. You heard about the Uzor Awani, the border community in Enugu. Yeah, the people that have been under the attack of the Fulani terrorists, especially in the last 3 months. And unfortunately, their governor, the one the people believe that he was never voted for, Peter Mba, have decided to go ahead and start a Ruga Fulani rural grazing area in Enugu. And according to him, just to bring peace, the murderers, the killers, none of them has been arrested whatsoever. Or rather, they will use the Enugu State's money to build them Ruga. Guess where they want to build it? The farm settlements in Uzo Wani. And because the people are still adamant, you know what happened next? We don't know who sent them. Nigerian soldiers, in the middle of the night, they went to that farm settlement and set the homes there ablaze. Whether the people were inside or not, nobody cares. They set it ablaze in the middle of the night, just to get rid of them. Does anybody know how I can convince you that is watching me right now that the criminals who have taken charge or taken over the government of Nigeria, they've made it so obvious that the government is the enemy. The government is the enemy. How could soldiers set ablaze the homes of those who are farmers on the authorized, approved farmlands that have been in place before Peter Mba become governor, that they have to do this to their own people?
You can see this is the action of Nigerian military. They came to our house this night, burned down our houses. We don't know what is happening. Our people in the farm settlement ran to us today that they were attacked in the farm settlement. Now what we see is Nigerian military came to our place, burned down the houses. We don't know what is the problem. We don't know if we are to run for Fulani herdsmen. We will be running for Fulani herdsmen and also be running for Nigerian military. I don't know what is happening in Nigeria. I don't know if we can continue with this. This is becoming too much. The world should come and help us. This is too much. This is not how we should live as a country. We can't be living like this. I don't know if Southeast did anything exceptional. We are not criminals. This is our home. We can't run away from our home. This is too much. Peter Mba, I don't know what you thought by saying that Fulani herdsmen should come and live in our place. Then they chase our people from the farm settlement. The next thing is for the Nigerian military to come to our place and burn down our houses. This is not fair. We didn't do anything to Nigeria. You can see this is the action of Nigerian military. They came to our house this night, burned down.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is so corrupt, which I.
That is the latest from Enugu. The governor went there the last time they killed a man and a child. He went there and he promised the people of safety. He even promised the children of the deceased free education, and they will take care of the welfare of those who were injured. Only for Peter Mba and his gang of betrayers to announce that they've now passed a law that gave Peter Umba the go ahead to establish a ranch for Fulanis in Enugu. Just to bring peace. For peace. That's what they call it. For peace. I have nothing to say after that. So let's go to another thing. This time around, ladies and gentlemen, the list is out. Those that received from listen to this. So, you know me, I told you that when the Wike stole over 800 billion, where the report we have now is that when the Wike actually squandered over 2.5 trillion naira of River State's money. And no wonder that Devulumayi said, you think if you are just packing public money, you're just throwing public money everywhere, stealing public money and all of that, that makes you somebody. Illiteracy. That's what Devulumayi said. Remember? Yeah. Fubara seems to be on the road right now, ladies and gentlemen. When I say he is on the road, I mean everything you've been praying to know about Wike, you are likely going to see everything before they tell him to stop. Some people are already saying, hey, they talk too much. Go and face governance. But most of these people were those who also called him, what do you call it? They called him an underdog. They said he should go and apologize. They were even looking forward to when he will be removed because it looks so weak. Now that he's been firing from all cylinders, Baba, they are saying he's talking too much. Baba, he never starts. According to him, he never starts. Majority of another, this is another sort of credence to the fact that Wike appointed over 80% of those in Fubara's government. See the level at which a lot of them are resigning right now because of this. Yesterday alone, 5 of them resigned in a single day because they can no longer take it. And their loyalty is to Wike. So here, if you are from Rivers State, you probably have seen this. So when Wike was doing his Father Christmas, he was donating to states, he was donating to, for example, Benue State collected 500 million naira from Wike. This was autumn. So to some of you who are seeing autumn with him, and you are wondering why autumn will kind of eat shit with him, right? 500 million naira was given to autumn by Wike in 2018 for the Benue, for the victims of Fulani herdsmen attack, the Fulani terrorist attack in Benue. Wike gave autumn 500 million. In Sokoto State, where they had the boat mishap, where people died on the boats, in 2022, Wike gave Tambua 500 million naira for the victims of, those people. Sokoto State, sorry for the people that died on the boat, 500 million. In Bayelsa State, during that time that they opened that dam in Cameroon, remember, Wike went to Bayelsa State in 2022 and he gave Diri 200 million naira for the flood victims as a future PDP presidential candidate too. So again, when ASU went on 18-month strike, remember that time when ASU was on strike for like 18 months under Bokwari, and they said that their members, their members, they were struggling, they were suffering. No food, no this, no that. That was in 2020. Do you remember? Wike called ASU and gave them 300 million. Take this 300 million. When I become president, you will never suffer again. But take this one, take a whole body. River State money. Nigerian Bar Association of Lawyers, they were